watching another episode of the Periscope Circle of Influence. We scope every Tuesday, every Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Today, we're going to be talking about business ideas for kids. Hi, Bukola. Hi, Deborah. Hi. Hello. How are you doing? So we're going to be talking about business ideas for kids today. However, before we get into that, I just want to clear out some housekeeping. So Periscope Circle of Influence, we scope every Tuesday, every Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. You can find us in our Facebook group. It's bit.ly/Periscope Circle of Influence. You can also find us on our website, and that's where we post our weekly featured scoper. It's www.periscopecircleofinfluence.com. And yes, that is 6 p.m. GMT. 6 p.m. GMT every Tuesday, every Thursday. Okay, so another thing that I also wanted to talk about, we are talking about our featured scopers today, and the three nominees that we have are Arvin Poole, Robin Cody Smith, and Nicole Scoper Walters. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about Nicole. The reason why I nominated Nicole is because I absolutely admire her business system. I love the fact that she's really invested and she's really passionate about helping entrepreneurs. She's always sharing the knowledge and she's very transparent. She's easy to reach out to. You can tweet her and she'll tweet you back. You can ask her questions. She has an absolutely great community of rich friends, as she calls us. And she also has something that's called the Yacht Club, where it's a Facebook group for people who have taken her courses before. And once you've taken one of her courses, that's all it takes. You're in that group and you can ask her any question. She's willing to lend you her team to support you in any endeavors, any issues, or anything that you need. She's absolutely there and she's very available. And it's not something that you see all the time with coaches out there, and that's the reason why I admire her. Another reason why I admire her is because she's not afraid to let you know that she's a woman of faith, and she does connect it to her business. And it's really nice and clean. It's not too preachy, but it's not like it doesn't like force you. It's not in your face. It's very clean and very flowy, and I just love the way she does it. So that's the reason why I nominated her. Now, to get into the topic for today, business ideas for kids. I'm going to start my with an introduction with a story, and it's basically just like reflecting on, when I thought of the topic, I was reflecting on my childhood, growing up as a child and seeing both my parents working in their businesses, right? I remember the fact that I admired them, I admired what they were doing. And even though at that point, I really didn't think that I would go into entrepreneurship because I thought I was going to be a lawyer. So I thought I was going to have like that, cliche professional life. But I remember just looking up to them and admiring them, their work ethics. Yes, absolutely. Nicole's great. And yes, she does give fabulous tips too. Absolutely, Deborah, she does. And I just remember admiring like their work ethics, their business models, the flexibility, because they always made time to, spend time with us, take us swimming, take us out for events and things like that. And that was something that I really admired and I looked forward to. Having said that, I really also like the fact that they allowed us to see like the business model, they allowed us to be a part of it. And yes, I wanted to be a lawyer, but, life happened. I did some internships and realized that it wasn't really for me. And then I kind of took a turn and went into international development. But, that's a story for another day. But, yeah, so they really brought us into it. I remember when my mom opened up like her soap factory, she brought us, my dad and her, they brought us in and they gave us a tour. So we got to see like the whole process and they explained everything to us. And, as kids, it was exciting and learning these new things, they really, really engaged us and they involved us in the process. And I remember, like doing menu tasting with my dad, because my dad works in hospitality and they did a lot of projects with hotels, and a big part of hotels is the restaurant. So my dad, being the director of food and beverage, it was part of his responsibility to do the menu tasting, right? Because that's something that they worked majorly on. And he exposed us to that. He included us in that. I thought it was really cool that someone would have a job where you would taste different types types of food, and that was a job, that was a business. I thought it was really, really cool, and of course it was fun. My favorite part of it was we had seasons where we would incorporate Swiss rolls, and I absolutely loved the Swiss rolls. So I remember, as a child asking my dad, when are we going to do the tasting for the Swiss roll? Is it Swiss roll season yet? Is it Swiss roll season yet? And, that was a fun thing for me. And just seeing that part of it, it was really nice. And just now as an adult, realizing how important that process was, even though it was fun for us, but realizing how important the menu tasting is to the success of a restaurant. That's a big thing, right? And that's the beauty of entrepreneurship. I like the fact that there's so much involved, and it's not always like the typical you sit at a desk and you drop documents and things like that. There's so many fun things, innovative things involved in entrepreneurship. So that being said, there are a couple of business ideas that I want to introduce us to. But before I go into that, I wanted to mention like what I think when I think of kids going into entrepreneurship. I think of my son, because he's very artistic, right? And he loves to draw, he loves to color, he loves to build things. And it's something that I let all the adults in my life, all his aunts and uncles, are aware of this, right? So whenever they get gifts, hi April, thanks for coming in. So whenever they get him gifts and stuff like that, like I find that even though they don't always consciously do it, I find that it's incorporated in the gifts that they give him, right? So I remember even for Christmas, he got a lot of toys that he could build, and he loves cars and things like that. So we try to encourage him in his artistic ventures, because I feel like it's very important. When you find that your children have gifts, it's very important to encourage them in those gifts. And like Bukola said, you don't want to take their childhood away from them by making it too focused on business, but you want to encourage them in that and start talking to them about doing something with it, right? So even like, I know Bukola and I once spoke about, because her son's also artistic. He loves to draw and color and stuff like that. And I remember she was telling me how she encouraged him in that venture, and we were saying how important it is to do that. So some of the ideas. So back to the website that I was telling you guys about. I found a friend of a friend whose kids started a business. It's a cleaning business, but the good thing about that business and the innovative thing about that business is that they don't clean your house or whatever, right? They actually teach your kids how to clean, right? So they've learned from their mom, because their mom is like, I don't want to say a clean freak, but she's very particular about cleaning. And there's certain things about cleaning that she taught her kids. They're twins. And so, they've perfected the act of cleaning. And, now they go out and they teach other kids how to clean. And that's their business model. And they call themselves the Chore Slayers. Yes, awesome, right? They call themselves the Chore Slayers. And they also sell some cleaning supplies, but it's really cool how they do it. So maybe, you know what, I'm going to start with their, okay, you know what, I'll do that, and then I'll show you guys the other one as well, because I think it's absolutely amazing. I'm telling you, kids these days are like, they're doing some awesome stuff, man. Like, and I love the fact that parents are encouraging their kids in these ventures. It's beautiful. I love it. So I'm going to show you the Instagram page that the mom actually created for them. So hold on one moment. All right, guys. So this is them, 18 Clean. And this is their Instagram page that their mom created for them. And these are some of the pictures of them and look at that. They have like brooms, because they're based in Nigeria, right? So they have brooms. There's a really cool picture that I saw. Okay, so if you guys can see the basket, the pink basket with the broom in it, that's like a little package that they created for cleaning supplies. So we're gonna go here. So awesome. So this is another Instagram page that I actually found, and it's called Kid Entrepreneurs, and they promote kid entrepreneurship. So these are some of the items, some of the entrepreneurs, and just some of the things that they have going on here. So this one is actually a 7-year-old who these are handmade accessories. She actually makes them. She's 7 years old, right? So that's that one. There's this artwork here by an 8-year-old. There's another one that I saw. Okay, there's this one. Some chocolate chip cookies that was made with this 5-year-old. So they have a couple of things, right? The thing about it too is it's inspired by what the kids love and what they enjoy. And when you look at these kids, when they're talking about the business and stuff like that, they're excited about it because this is something they're passionate about. This is an idea that they actually came up with. So the parents are just encouraging them, you know, in the venture. And I think it's absolutely amazing. You know, the little girl that loves to make accessories and, you know, the twins that love to clean. It's absolutely amazing. So, you know, next on Thursday, the next scope on Thursday, you know, I'll actually go into some ideas that I found that, you know, are good for kids. And one thing that you can also do is spark the conversation with your children. Try to see, you know, what they're interested in. You can ask them questions like, you know, if you could start a business like mom or dad, what would you do? And that would get the conversation rolling. And, you know, that would also get them thinking about what they would love to do. So thank you guys so much for joining us today. Got a call. You're watching another episode of the Periscope Circle of Influence. We scope every Tuesday, every Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. GMT. This week, we're talking about business ideas for kids. I started my introduction just sharing my background and introduction into entrepreneurship from my parents and some ideas that I found online. And on Thursday, we'll continue the conversation, sharing ideas with you, cool ideas that we found. Yes, Deborah, please go set up. So, you know, just sharing some cool ideas that we found online or from talking to our children and things like that. So thank you so much for joining us. If you're watching on the replay, you can absolutely share on Twitter and Facebook. You can absolutely tap the screen, give us some hearts, let us know you're feeling what we're saying. And also, if you want to find us on our website, it's www.periscopecircleofinfluence.com. And you can absolutely request to join our Facebook group. It's bit.ly/Periscope Circle of Influence. Thank you so much for joining me and have a lovely day.